I'm a mindset coach, I'm a meditation teacher, and I am the founder of the Freedom Alignment Method, a technique that addresses the root cause of physical, emotional, and mental stress and pain. So, over the next few days, I am going to be delivering to you some mini mind detox little videos, which we're all currently seemingly facing right now with what's going on in our world. And tonight's detox is all about that famous negative mind. So you may know somebody, it could be a work colleague, a friend, it could be a neighbor, it could be a partner, it could be yourself that's suffered at some point, maybe even right now, with a negative mindset. And what I want to give you this evening is 3 direct tips of how you can deal with this negative mindset today. So let's dive in. Now, for those people that stay on to the end, I've got a really exciting, magical little free gift to give you. So I'm only going to be doing short little spouts. They're only going to be like 5 or 10 minutes long, these things. So it's not long. So stay tuned and I will give you that little tip at the end. Oh my goodness, I'm so warm. So first of all, negative mindset. One thing I really need you to know is that you're not going mad. What happens is that the human brain has been programmed to look for problems. And so what it does is it spends its time looking outwards, finding any problems and issues. And this is because our minds have not changed since the beginning of time. And in the beginning of time, back in the day, when we used to have to go and catch our food, or we had to run away from potential threats, like maybe we're being chased by an animal, we would need that mindset that would look for potential problems. But today, life's slightly different, but the mind hasn't changed. And we still have to deal with this negativity. So what happens is it's actually programmed to look for problems. And that's what it does. It looks for problems over great things. And you'll notice that if 5 people gave you a compliment and 1 person gave you something to consider, the one thing that you'd remember mostly would not be the 5 compliments, but it'd be the one thing that somebody said that's negative about you. And that's because the mind grabs onto it. So we need some solutions today so that you can basically override this negative mindset, because there is a problem. And that is, the more focused we are with a negative mindset, the more we are likely to have an affect our health, because cortisol will be released. It's more likely to actually make us less focused, and we don't take opportunities when they're given to us because we don't see them. So it's really important that you take control back over your mind. So how are you going to do that? Simple. 3 simple, easy steps that you need to tune into right now. So what is that first one? Well, the first step is name your problem. So name and tame it is basically what you need to do. So if you notice that your mind is being negative, awareness is absolutely paramount and key to any change. So seeing that your mind is taking you off into some crazy, negative downward spiraling experience is really important that you notice it. And as soon as you do notice it, you can ask the question, is this thought actually serving me? And what I mean by that is it really supporting who you are, or is it causing you lots of grief and aggro? If it's causing you lots of stress and aggro, my suggestion is that you take your awareness off it, because it's only going to lead to more negative thinking patterns, which will always affect you and make you feel exhausted, stressed, and probably very, very kind of almost like a shadow of yourself, like you're not performing on all cylinders. So the idea, first of all, name and tame that negative thought. When you see it, go, you're a negative thought. That's it. It's just a negative thought. You don't have to spend any more time on it other than becoming aware of it. So step 1 is start to notice where your mind is going. Remember, where energy goes, where attention goes, energy flows. So it's as simple as that. If you put your attention onto it, it will become a monster. It's like you're sat there listening to me right now. And even though you're listening to me right now, if you're sat down, if I take your attention right now to your bottom that's sat on that seat, it's been there the whole time. But it's only when I made you take your attention there did you become aware that it was there. And this is no different. It's about becoming aware of where you're putting your attention. So name and tame it. If you notice that you are in a negative dialogue, stop and tell yourself it's just a negative thought. That's all it is. So step 1 is name and tame. Step 2, distract. This is really important. So what do I mean by distract? I mean that, like, you have a choice. Yep, you have a choice. And if this is something's feeling uncomfortable and yucky to you, like being caught up in a negative downward spiraling conversation, then stop and decide to put your attention somewhere different and break that cycle. How you do that is by doing something different. So you might potentially watch a movie, or maybe you'll do some attitude of gratitude for a few minutes, or maybe you'll put some groovy music on, some great tunes. Or perhaps you'll just go for a walk or do some exercise, Catherine's exercise potentially. So just do something that's going to break that pattern, because it's so important that you gain back the control. And what will happen is you'll notice that when you start to do something different, that your mindset changes. So break the pattern and do something different is tip number 2. And tip number 3, basically, you've now you've become aware, you've distracted yourself, and the third one is now change your focus. So what do I mean by that? I mean that wherever your focus is, and if you think about this in your life, in any area of your life, whatever you're putting your focus on becomes that poignant experience. So what is one of the most best ways to change your focus is by changing your physiology. So I mean that when you get physical, when you shift, a biochemistry happens within the body and it changes your mood. So much so that actually a huge study was done at Harvard, and Harvard University established that when we do a thing called a power pose, which is literally nothing more than the Wonder Woman pose, where you put your hands on your hips for 2 minutes, the biochemistry in the body changes so much that it increases your testosterone, men and women, by 20%. It decreases cortisol, which is the stress hormone, by 22% by just standing with your hands on your hips like a power pose for 2 minutes. But more interestingly, you will increase by 33%. 33% of you will want to take more action, positive action in your life. And that's by just doing a power pose for 2 minutes. So look how much power you really have when you decide to take it back. By just choosing to do something slightly different, you get a different result. The problem is most of us are trying to get out of a slumping mess, feeling really overwhelmed by negative thoughts in the same thinking pattern, and we're not getting anywhere. And unfortunately, how the human mind works is that 95% of what you think about today, you will think about tomorrow. So until you become consciously aware of what you're thinking about, you can't make that change. So by changing your physiology, you have a huge chance of changing how you feel from the inside out. And it just starts by a power pose. So get power posing. And if you're not sure what that is, then Google it, because there's loads of research out there on YouTube, but it's literally standing like Wonder Woman. So, you might feel a bit weird, but don't worry about it. Just do it. It makes you feel great. And especially if you're about to go to a meeting. I know right now you might not be physically going to a meeting, but you're about to go for a job interview. You're about to go into a new party. You're about to do something that's slightly out of your comfort zone, and power pose it before you get there, so that on your cellular level, you change and you become more empowered to ready to take that on. And what it does is it shifts your mindset. So it shifts it from doubt into possibility, from doubt and limitation into I can do anything. And if you've got a choice of living either way, then of course you're going to live in the land of human potential and possibility. So gain your mind back by implementing these 3 steps. Step 1, name and tame. Ask it, is it serving me, this negative mindset? And 10 out of 10 times, it will be no. So number 2 is then distract yourself. Do something that changes where your focus is. And number 3 is change your physiology. Get moving. Do a power pose for 2 minutes so that you can change your biochemistry into an upward spiraling state in 2 minutes only. Now, I'd love to hear how you get on with this. So if any of you have ever struggled with a negative mindset, then please give me a thumbs up or a heart or whatever. And if you have a go at this, I'd love to hear what your feedback is after doing your power pose. Did it feel comfortable? Did it feel weird? What did it feel like? I just want to know how it affected you and how you kind of reacted after doing that. I'd love to hear your feedback. So guys, implement them tonight. And tomorrow we're going to be focusing on self-belief, from negative self-worth into self-belief. And I'm going to give you some hot tips on that. But for those people that want more, this is my gift. If you go to my website at www.kirstybortoff.co.uk, I have a brand new free of charge masterclass on overcoming anxiety and stress. All you have to do is go to the website and it's all there for you. And it's 3 huge tips that will help you overcome anxiety and stress today. So go on there and have a little look. I think you'll quite enjoy it. Other than that, have an amazing night. I think you've all got an exercise class soon. And I will see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock to deal with self-belief. Take care.